often hear the term collaboration, and as I discussed in my previous video, I define collaboration as reaching outside of your sphere of influence for input, answers, solutions, and ideas. Most of us, whether we know it or not, live in a fishbowl, and this fishbowl provides us great comfort. And what I mean by that is we are surrounded by ideas, people, concepts that reinforce our understanding of the universe. One poignant example I like to give to demonstrate this is, think about when you're driving your car and you're going through the world and you come to a green light. Most of us don't think twice about going through that green light. But when you think about it, it really is a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith that someone is not going to run a red light coming the other way. And we have no control over that. We don't know that somebody's not coming. And in fact, we also, if we think really hard about it, know that sometimes people do run those red lights and people are killed, injured, otherwise in accidents. But in order to live our life, we have to create a fishbowl of faith around activities just like this. We can't afford to stop at green lights, namely because we're probably going to get rear-ended, and secondly because it will take us 5 times as long to get anywhere. But we willingly make that leap of faith, and we use our fishbowl to sort of rule out the thoughts that somebody may be coming through that light. Now, most of us don't think of it that way, but it's true. And what happens in the business world is that we tend to confine ourselves to our fishbowl, and there are many factors that prohibit us from reaching out. One of those, and maybe the most powerful reason we don't collaborate more, is because we're afraid that when we get outside of our expertise or we do ask questions of other people, it makes us look vulnerable and we are potentially weaker. The other thing is that information is oftentimes power. So, we don't want to share our information because us knowing that information gives us power, maybe it gives us security, and other things like that. So, what I like to say is, it's not human nature to collaborate. And if you don't actively force yourself to get outside of your fishbowl, reach outside of your sphere of influence to get new ideas, new thoughts, new input, chances are you really won't do it. And so what I want you to think about with collaboration is, where can you go to get new ideas for what you're trying to solve, right? And so there's great examples in business. Perhaps the most famous example is the sticky note. And the sticky note came from 2 different and unique departments within 3M developing a technology for something completely different that happened to come together and realize that this reapplying sticky adhesive could be applied to a product that would become one of the greatest products developed of all time. And there's other examples I give in my book of this. So keep in mind, if you want to stimulate new ideas, if you want to get a fresh perspective, if you want to get a perspective on what fishbowl you're in, you've got to collaborate. Good luck.